Haneen Harara. She's a political analyst and a journalist based in Gaza. She also works for a UN agency supporting the relief and humanitarian development of Palestinian refugees. Haneen, thank you very much indeed for joining us. I suspect that is going to be an absolutely key consideration for you, your family, your friends, and everybody you know in Gaza right now, how to get humanitarian aid and where exactly you can take shelter.
So, well, before I start, I want to mention that I lose 6 of my members of my relatives yesterday evening. So the ongoing escalation in the Gaza Strip is increasing and raising till now, and the situation is getting worse. The shelter is my own home because there's nowhere and there's no one is safe here in Gaza. Everyone is targeted and every single place is targeted. You can know from the media that the mosques, the worshippers, the schools, the honorary schools itself, which is being a shelter, is targeted too. The shops, the market, the streets, the residential buildings are the bank of Israeli forces army. So that's it. There's no shelter. There's no place safe in the Gaza Strip.
We're very sorry for your loss. You have our deepest condolences. We thank you once again for joining us. We do appreciate that today. You've just outlined how tough the situation will be. What sort of information are you receiving from authorities? Is there anything to suggest that a plan is in place to try to stop these attacks?
So the authorities call for many things which is related to the Palestinian prisoners who are in the who are in the Israeli jails. So we have 5,000 of Palestinian prisoners who are in the Israeli jails for years ago. We have men, children, and women. So we have no idea if the Israeli occupation will deal with that statement or not. But the most important thing that we have to know that we are here now dealing with a massacre, with a war crime, literally, because we have, we talk about 687 murder who was killed, from them 140 children. And this is the main point. We have 140 children and 105 women who was killed in the Israeli massacres around all over the Gaza, from the south to the north. You can maybe hear some of the shellings and bombings, which is maybe exploded around, because and you can even see there's no electricity. And here I'm using the phone light, so we can put the light about what is going on in the next days, such as offering the electricity, the clean water to use, the medical supplements and supplies for those people who are wounded in the hospitals, even how we will call the international community and the international law to support the Palestinian issue, while all of those are dealing with the Palestinian issue as not as supposed to. You can maybe know how they deal with the multi-standard strategy, what is going on in the Ukraine and Russia, and ignoring the Palestinian issue. So the most important thing to make a serious step in the next days to support Palestinian people who live under occupation, particularly in the West Bank, Jerusalem, and the Gaza Strip.
I mean, it's a terrifying situation for you and indeed the some 2.3 million people who live in the Gaza Strip. We know it's very tightly packed. It's a lot of people living in a very small place, which makes concerns of a ground incursion by Israeli forces no doubt even more worrying. I do want to ask you, before we let you go, though, how much support does Hamas have within the Gaza Strip and indeed their actions?
Let me tell you that the Palestinians here in Gaza Strip or even the West Bank are totally agree with the fighters, the Palestinian fighters, because this is the only way to get back our land, our territories, our occupied land. You cannot imagine when somebody who lost her home and say, I'm totally agree with Hamas or the Palestinian fighters, and my home is nothing beyond what is they are going to do or even to defend. So we are completely agree with this option because this is the only option that makes something different or makes sense. We have 75 years of occupation with completely silent. So now it is the time for Palestinian narrative. It is the time to the world to have the Palestinian stories and the Palestinian hands. This is our way to fight this occupation.
Haneen, we thank you very much indeed for joining us. Once again, we extend our sincere condolences for your loss. Haneen Harara there joining us from Gaza Live.